Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 5 of the Daily Cantonese series, where we cover one scenario per episode, talking about different phrases in Cantonese that you might find useful if you ever get to use Cantonese in these scenarios. So last time, if you guys remember, we talked about going to the movie theater. Hopefully those phrases were kind of useful. And today I thought we might change it to something a little bit different, and maybe something you might do if you cook, if you're inclined to cook, which is shopping at the market. So just a bit of backdrop, I guess. I guess nowadays in Hong Kong, more people like to shop for groceries in supermarkets, like Park and Shop and Welcome, just because it's a lot more convenient and it's perhaps a little bit cleaner, the environment. But back in the days, we used to really like doing shopping in the traditional markets, like that sell poultry, vegetables, fruits, and all that kind of good stuff, right? And of course, a lot of people still do. So if you ever want to kind of experience that, this episode might be useful to you, right? So without further ado, let's get started. So imagine that you are in front of a vegetables stall and you want to ask about the price of a certain type of vegetables. So in which case you might say something like, 老細韭菜點賣啊? So excuse me, how much are the chives? Right? So 老細 means boss, and you kind of use it colloquially in a familiar way to refer to the owner of the stall. And 韭菜, by the way, is chives, or Asian chives, I guess, if you have something to contrast that with. So asking about the price, you say 點賣, like how do you sell it, literally in Cantonese. Right, so that's number 1. Number 2, you might ask if they sell a particular product in front of a stall. So you might ask something like, 唔該，你哋有冇皮蛋賣呢? So, excuse me, do you sell century eggs here? 皮蛋 is century eggs. Century eggs are often used if you ever go to Hong Kong in restaurants when serving congee. I actually don't know the reason why, but yeah, you often hear or see 皮蛋瘦肉粥. And the 皮蛋 is actually quite interesting. It's not very salty, but the taste is it's a little bit difficult to describe. The outside layer is like jelly and the inside is soft. It's not like an ordinary egg. An ordinary egg kind of crumbles apart, right? But the century eggs, they're kind of soft, I guess, when you bite into them. And yeah, the century egg, if you don't know, they're kind of black in color, or they're like gelatinous, translucent-ish on the outside. So if you ever come, please try. Moving on, you might want to ask for a product. You go like, I've tried looking for it somewhere else and I can't find it anywhere else. So do you have this available? So in which case, you might say something like, 你哋而家仲有冇賣銀針粉呢? 我揾咗好多檔都揾唔到啊. So 銀針粉translates literally to silver needle noodles. It's a kind of noodles only found in Hong Kong, I guess. And it's not easy to find it. So that actually might be something you get to use in real life. So the whole phrase translates to, would you happen to sell silver needle noodles still? I've looked everywhere and I can't seem to find it. Okay, moving on. So imagine that you're in front of a butcher, I guess, a meat store. How do you say it? I actually don't remember the word for it, but yeah, if you're in front of a stall that sells meat and you want to buy meat, like maybe pork. There we go. So in which case you might say something like, 老細俾30蚊豬肉我啊，盡量多啲瘦肉，少啲肥肉啊. So I'd like $30. When I say dollars, okay, that's Hong Kong dollars. I'd like $30 of pork, if possible, and more lean pork than fat pork, please. Right. So 瘦肉 is lean or thin meat, and 肥肉 is like fatty meat. Moving on, there's also another type of stall. I'm not sure if you guys have them in North America as well, or really any other part of the world. Sorry, it's just like I'm in Canada right now, so I'm thinking about North America automatically. So, but another kind of stall that we have would be a stall that sells frozen foods. And those typically would be like fish balls or maybe dumplings. Do they sell dumplings in those stalls? But mainly, things like fish balls. Yeah, that's the only thing that comes to mind. So in which case, you might say something like, 我要40蚊炸魚蛋同埋魚片，加多30蚊魚皮餃。So I'll have $40 of fried fish balls and fish slices, as well as triangular fish slices. But they might come in another shade as well as another $30 of fish and meat dumplings, please. Okay, so that's that. Moving on. Asking about a product that you might not be able to, that you want to find, you think is in the stall, but you can't seem to see. In which case, you might say something like, 咦，老闆娘，點解好似唔見有豆苗賣嘅? I'm sorry. It seems like the pea shoots I was looking for, they aren't here, they aren't available anymore here. Pea shoots is an interesting vegetable. It tastes very interesting as well. It's kind of a little bit crunchy. Not as crunchy as bean sprouts per se, which is daonga for your reference in Cantonese, but it's a little bit more to the crunchy-ish side. And last but not least, asking for extras. So in Hong Kong, when you buy groceries in the market, usually it's customary to give you spring onions for free, so you might be able to ask for more if you love spring onions. In which case, you might say something like, 老闆，可唔可以加多2條葱俾我？唔該晒。Hi, I'm sorry. Could I have 2 extra spring onions to go, please? Alright, so that concludes our episode to do with shopping in the market. So thank you so much once again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And as usual, if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button below. And after you've done that, there's also the little bell button. So please hit that to get the latest notifications in your notifications inbox. So thank you so much once again, guys, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time. Cheers.